Welcome back. Today is Thursday. We're at the track. Today is going to be a max velocity session, meaning that we are going to be focusing on building that quality of full speed, upright sprinting, trying to be as fast as we possibly can. So max velocity is that phase of a sprint after your acceleration, after your drive phase, when you're full upright sprinting, trying to get as much speed as you can, hitting the fastest speeds that you can. That's going to be max velocity. So the sessions on Thursdays for the next 3 to 4 weeks is going to be focused on developing that max velocity. What I've done in the weeks leading up to today, Thursdays we did that acceleration complex where we had a heavy sled followed by bounds, followed by sprints, and then we ended each of those sessions with a little bit of max velocity work. We did some flying 10s, so short build up into a 10-meter all-out sprint, and we timed that. Today we're taking out the acceleration complex and just focusing on the max velocity. And the format that I have for today is we're going to start off the session with some submaximal fly-ins. So we're going to do some fly-ins at less than 100%. Then we're going to do some flying 10s, probably do 2 to 3 reps on flying 10s with a 20-meter buildup. And then we're going to go into fly, float, fly. And I'll explain what a fly, float, fly is once we get to that point. The 5,000 subscriber giveaway is getting close to happening. We're just under 4,000 subscribers on the channel. So at the current rate of growth for the channel, on a 28-day average, we're a little over 800 new subscribers every single 28 days. When I started being more consistent on YouTube, which was about probably a month and a half ago, we were at about 600 total subscribers on a 28-day rolling average. So you're looking at a 200 subscriber increase. Now we're at 800. If that trend continues, given that we're so close to 4,000 subscribers right now, we're roughly 28 days, maybe give or take a week or so, depending on if that growth continues and what happens with subscribers. But just looking at the trend, we're about 28 days away from giving away that free sprint program once we hit 5,000 subscribers. So things are moving in the right direction. Really excited to get that program out for you guys. So if you're here for the first time, you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You're going to get a free 8-week speed program at that 5,000 subscriber mark. It's going to be a full PDF download. You get the entire program. You don't have to subscribe to anything. You don't have to sign up for anything. You're just going to be able to download it, have the full program, and then you could do whatever you like with it. So I'm going to go through my warm-up today, get ready for some max velocity work, and then we're going to start off with those submaximal flies. Getting towards the end of my warm-up, everything I've done up until this point is the same warm-up that I normally do, regardless of what it is I'm doing on the track. Since today is a very specific max velocity day, the last 3 drills that I'm going to do are going to be more specific towards max velocity work. So I'll show you guys what those are. What I like to do is do a little bit more upright drills that are focused on some max velocity mechanics. So we're going to do some variations of straight leg bounds, some straight leg fast cycles, some dribbles, and then we're going to get into the submax flies. The first drill you're going to see here, I like to do like a short choppy straight leg bound, and then I like to extend that out and get a little bit deeper and do like an actual straight leg bound. Following that up, I'm going to do a bound with a cycle and alternate legs back and forth. Try to mimic a little bit of what those max velocity mechanics are. So upright, trying to pull the leg in tight through the hip, extend out in front, strike the ground, similar to as if I was upright sprinting. And then dribbles will be a little bit more frequency in that. So we'll start off with some light dribbles, build up to some bigger ones that will look more like we're going to be doing some upright sprints. So that's going to be the last few drills here, and then we're going to get into the submax flies. With the submaximal flies, I still consider this a warm-up drill, even though it's part of the workout today. I like to do submax. Submax for me means below maximum effort. So I like to do submax flies for multiple reasons. One, like I said, it's kind of an additional warm-up. You get some higher intensity reps in before you start to go all out. Two, it teaches you how to be relaxed while putting in high efforts. So when I do those submax flies, I'm gonna be somewhere between 80 to 90%. So they're not gonna be like jogging repetitions. They're gonna look like I'm going for a sprint, but we're keeping that intensity down a little bit to try to maintain a relaxed position while we're sprinting, not to just get real tense and try to run hard. And then we're going to try to increase that intensity a little bit on each of those reps, and then we'll start doing some of the flies and hopefully be able to keep some of that relaxed feeling while going all out. Some of the best sprinters in the world, some of the fastest people, whether it's NFL, Major League Soccer, rugby, whatever it is, they're really good at maintaining some sort of relaxation while sprinting at max intensity. So that's a big reason why I like to do those submax flies. So we'll knock out our last few repetitions on the warm-ups, and then we're gonna go probably 2 to 3 reps on the submax fly-ins. All right, sub-max flies now. 2 to 3 reps, 80 to 90%. What I would recommend doing is your first rep should be 80% regardless. So high effort, maintain that ability to be relaxed. The next rep, kick it up a little bit, maybe be at 85%. If you do 3 reps, bump that up towards 90, but don't go all out on these. So I'm gonna do a 20-meter build into a 20-meter sub-max fly. So as you can see here, there's a green cone there at the 20-meter mark, and then this green cone right here is gonna be 20 meters from that. So nice build up, easy efforts on this. All right, so first one, 80-ish%, felt good. So we're gonna bump it up, 85%. The rest in between these doesn't need to be extremely long. A couple minutes, maybe 1 minute, 90 seconds, because you're not going all out on these. So you don't need to worry about resting too long, just enough to kind of maintain the intensity increase that you're gonna be seeing. So set number 2, 85-ish%, and then depending on how that feels, might do one more at 90, and then move on to the fly-ins. Technically, first part of the workout is done. Submax fly-ins, did 3, kind of like 80, 85, 90. Last one felt really good. So we're gonna move on to flying 10s. We're gonna start with a 20-meter buildup into a 10-meter all-out sprint. I'm gonna get the timing eyes out. We're gonna time that 10 meters. Probably, we're gonna do at least 2 repetitions, maybe 3, depending on how things are feeling. I wanna also do 2 repetitions minimum on the fly float flies, possibly 3 reps on that. So after I do my 2 reps on the flying 10s, I'll decide whether I want to do a 3rd rep on those or a 3rd rep on the fly float flies. Also, I want to give you guys an update. I just got 2 text messages from the post office saying that I have 2 packages to pick up. Now, I only remember ordering one thing. Sometimes I get sent stuff randomly from companies that want me to try things out, so maybe it's that, but I have ordered a microphone, and now I have 2 packages to pick up at the post office. So after this session is over, we're gonna go to the post office and hopefully have a microphone there to pick up. I have no clue what the second package is going to be. We'll see when we get there. But timing eyes are going to go out. Flying 10s coming up. 2 reps on those. Let's go get it. Two reps done. I did 102 on the first one, 1 second on the second one. Kind of want to do a third because I feel like a 98 is possible. 102, 101, not terrible for where we're at. This is week 1 of this phase building up. So if I could be at a 98 on week 1, then I'm looking at 96 week 2 and possibly a 94 on week 3, because what we're going to do is take this flying 10 and go from 20 meters to a 25 meter build, and then we're going to do a 30 meter build, and that 30 meter is my standard test when doing a flying 10. So I have a 30 meter build into a 10 meter all out sprint, and I want that to be close to 95. So if we can hit a 98, I think that's trending in the right direction. Next week we'll aim for like 97, 96, and then that third week we're going to aim for 95 or bust. So I'm going to do 3. I'm going to do a third. I'm going to get a 98, and then we're going to move on to the fly float flies. Whew. We'll take this off real quick. Hopefully that focused in for you guys, but 98. Call your shot. I like that. That's what we wanted for that last rep. Felt a lot better. Got faster as we went. Perfection. 98 is a good spot to be. So fly flow flies are basically an extension off of that flying 10. So you get multiple exposures to all out sprinting. You're accumulating more meters per rep, but you're breaking those pieces of intensity up with a little bit of a break in between. So we're going to do a 20 meter build, 10 meters all out, 10 meter of a float, 10 meters all out. So we've got a 30 meter distance at which we're going to be at pretty high intensities. 20 meters of that 30 meters is going to be all out efforts. That float phase allows you to maintain quality towards the back end of that max velocity rep. So rather than doing flying 20s or flying 30 or really long intense pieces, specifically for someone like me who I don't really care about speed endurance too much because I'm not running 100s or 200s. I don't really have to have that quality. I'm more concerned about like 40 to 60. You don't really need that speed endurance at those distances. So that little float in the middle allows you to have a very brief pause in that intensity, and then you nail that second 10 meters at an all out, which should end up being a much better quality 10 meters than if I were to just run for 30 meters straight or 20 meters straight. So that's the reason for fly flow flies. Start to extend out the amount of volume per repetition. The tricky part with doing fly float flies is the float phase. That middle phase where you're not going all out, but you're trying to maintain that speed that you built in that first 10 meters. So if I'm looking at it from the side and I'm watching somebody do a fly float fly, it should look like they're sprinting 30 meters. I shouldn't be able to visually see a difference between that first fly and the float and the second fly. If anything, you might be able to hear a difference in the intensity. So you might hear that the cycle slows down just slightly and then picks back up. But you shouldn't see like someone all out sprinting and then relax and then all out sprinting again. You should see an all out sprint. Doing the repetition, you should feel like a float, like you're just kind of hitting the ground going, but you've kind of brought it down a gear, and then you punch it again at that last one. So what it would sound like is like you've got your build up, and then it goes 10. If you heard that, if that makes any sense. In my mind it makes sense because I've done these 100 times, so it makes, but you should hear like a really fast cadence on the track. Maybe that cadence slows down slightly during that float phase, and then a fast cadence on the track again if you're listening to the feet. But visually, it should look pretty much the same throughout. You might see a very small change in that float phase, but mechanics should stay the exact same. You shouldn't be seeing a very visual slowdown and then pick up, because we're not trying to slow down. We're trying to build speed, maintain the speed, and then punch it again towards the end and add a little bit of speed toward that. So that's the focus of these 2 reps on this. I'm gonna move the timing eyes down to the last 10 meters. So I already know a 20 meter build into a 20 meter fly is gonna put me at 0.98 for today. Now I wanna see is how close can I get to that 0.98 on that back half for that second fly. So I'm not gonna measure the first 10 meters. I'm gonna measure the last 10 meters of this fly float fly. 2 repetitions, maybe 3 depending on how well everything goes. So let's go get after it. All right, let me catch my breath for a second. 2 reps. First rep, 1 second flat on that second 10 meter fly. And I felt like that was only like 90% effort on that. I don't know, it felt easy. So I knew, all right, rep number 2 is going to be incredible. 0.94 for a 10 meter split is 23.8 miles per hour. 23.8 miles per hour is low 4.3s if you're able to hit that 0.94 within that 40 meter range. So if you can get to, like, let's say you're doing a 40-yard dash. If your 30 to 40 is a 0.94, or your 25 to 35 is a 0.94, you're running a low 4.3 for sure. I don't think I'm gonna do a 3rd rep. I'm very happy with a 0.94. Even though that first rep was a very easy rep in terms of what I felt my effort was on that. But I think we got done what we needed to get done today. 0.98 on the first 10, 0.94 on the back half of that are very good numbers leading into what is going to be a taper, and then we'll do some testing. So I'm really hoping at the end of this, we're going to be in the 4.3 ranges on a 40. Which is very exciting to be doing at 38 years old. If that right there isn't worth a like and subscribe, I don't know what is. This is the type of stuff that's gonna be in that sprint program. So if you guys want doing these type of sessions, have everything laid out for you, 8 weeks, free program, like the video, subscribe, let's get to 5,000, I'll make that free for everybody. I'm gonna go to the post office now, and there is a microphone waiting for me. You guys aren't gonna know until tomorrow, or maybe if there is, I post it on my stories on IG. Who knows? But I appreciate you guys watching the video. Back at it tomorrow. We're gonna be in the gym hitting a lower body day again.